Hi, welcome back to Vietnam Real Estate Insights, the program that looks at the Vietnamese real estate market and emerging trends with industry experts. I'm your host, Harlow Russell. In today's conversation, we meet Sergey Nam, the Deputy CEO of Kusto Homes and Diamond Island Project in Vietnam. And we'll be discussing about the opportunities and the challenges of investing your money in Vietnamese property. Sergey, welcome to the program. Thanks for coming and thanks for your time today.
Thank you. Welcome. Good afternoon.
Great. Let me tell our viewers a little bit about you. So, Sergey, you're from Kazakhstan.
Okay.
You are the Deputy CEO for the Diamond Island Project of Kusto Home in Ho Chi Minh. And for many years, more than 8 years, you were in the banking industry in Kazakhstan, and you had various positions in research, credit, investor relations, and finance. So you're a banking guy. Your Master's of Science is in International Economics and Finance from Newcastle University in the UK. And so let's begin by, who is Kusto? Probably most of our viewers have never heard of Kusto Group, so tell us a little bit about the company.
Right. Hello all. Hello, Harlow.
Hi.
Thank you for inviting me.
You're welcome.
Well, actually, my strong financial background is not by accident, because Kusto is a financial group of companies. We originally from Kazakhstan, but our headquarters was moved to Singapore.
Interesting.
Yes, and our exposure to real estate market covers 4 countries, including Russia, mostly developing countries: Russia, Ukraine, Kazakhstan, and Vietnam.
Wow, interesting combination.
Yes, what an interesting combination. We also do business in other sectors. We do venture investments in IT, in
IT.
Retail, agro business, painting business, production, processing, construction materials, painting. It's about 9 countries at the moment.
Wow, so quite a diversified group.
Yes.
And originally from Kazakhstan.
Right.
Very good. Well, tell us then, for a foreign investor, this sounds very interesting combination of countries. How did Kusto enter the Vietnamese market? How did a company from Kazakhstan decide to get into Vietnamese real estate?
Well, the first time we visited Vietnam was back in 1998. Yeah,
Wow.
we have very good friends and we have very good partners in Vietnam, local people, and we really appreciate this support from them to us. And almost 20 years ago, it was our first experience coming to this wonderful country. Back to 1998, it was mostly more like a bicycling country.
Yes.
Yes, but maybe more than 50% people were riding bicycles. And then it was upgraded very fast into motorbikes, and now we can see a lot of cars.
Absolutely.
And well, if you take Ho Chi Minh City, let's say, it's about 80,000 expats staying here for long term.
Well, has Kusto been in real estate in Vietnam since '98? Since the beginning?
Now, that's the first time we visited Vietnam to look for opportunities.
Yes.
But we established our first company in 2005.
2005.
2005, yes.
And how many real estate projects do you have in Vietnam?
Our first project, and the only one project at the moment, have to say, it's called the Diamond Island.
Okay.
Diamond Island. It's a premium segment.
Premium luxury segment.
Yes, we don't go for mass. We want to establish our brand first as something very limited and unique.
I see. So how do you define the premium luxury market for residential property in Vietnam? What does that mean from a Kusto perspective?
Well, it's changing. If you talk about 2005, it was completely different from what we have now.
How so? What was it? What was the premium luxury market like in 2005, and what is it today?
The market back 10 years ago was very very wild, if you could
Very
say that.
wild?
Very wild, yes.
Okay.
It was very, very crazy market.
Okay.
A lot of speculators. And,
Speculators.
yes, it was very hot. And as a developer, we don't really feel comfortable on this market. It's because you know when the market is crazy, when it's too hot, there is a consideration that
Well, it can be
yes.
very hard to make money.
Yes, and well now the luxury segment. If you talk about 2015
Yes.
and 2016, the sales volume this year is 4 times higher than the last year.
Really, four
Yes,
times
4
higher
times, 4 times.
in the luxury
4
premium
times,
segment.
yes. If you talk about primary market, and lots of foreign developers are coming now. They enter in not only premium and high-end segment, they also go for mid-end.
Yes.
Very, in my opinion, very attractive at the moment. And it's more regulated. It's not like we had 10 years ago. It's more regulated. It's more predictable.
More predictable.
Yeah, it's more, it's more comfortable for, I think, for investors, for developers.
So let's say if I'm a foreign investor and I don't know much about Vietnam, I may have a portfolio of properties in other countries. In 2015 now, your segment, the luxury premium segment, what does that mean in terms of kind of size or price or type of property? What does that mean today for me to frame it as a potential investment?
As a foreigner,
As a foreigner, yeah, I'm a foreign investor.
because there is a big difference if you're a foreigner or a local guy.
What's the difference?
Well, it's different mentality.
Okay.
It's different mentality for Vietnamese people. There is a very big, very high internal migration. So people are moving from countryside to big cities.
From the countryside,
Yes,
the urbanization.
The
of Vietnam.
urbanization, yes. Urbanization is very high internal. I mean, the country itself is growing about 1 million people every year.
Yes.
1 million a year. And Ho Chi Minh City, I think there is a forecast that by 2020, it's going to be more like 15 million people living in Ho Chi Minh City.
That would make sense. I think it's about 10 or 11 million now.
Yeah. So it's growing very fast. And the first residential property was built in 2001 only. So it's
Not so
15
long
years
ago.
ago. Yeah. So it's very uncommon. Let's say uncommon, not really traditional for Vietnamese people to live in an apartment.
Okay.
Because the culture is more, historically they prefer, and even now we can see that luxury segment, we are now competing with villas. Apartments vs villas, yeah.
For the domestic market or for the
For
foreign market?
for a domestic market.
Domestic market. So
Right.
would you say Diamond Island, which is a premium luxury in condo?
In condo.
So primarily then are your buyers foreigners or Vietnamese?
Last year it was, if you take a look at our customer profile,
Yes.
last year was about 10%, 10 to 15% were foreigners.
10 to
This year,
15%,
this
yes.
year our residents were almost 50% of foreigners.
Really? That's a
tenants
major
and
shift.
owners, yes. And recently we had a number of deals coming from countries like Costa Rica.
Really?
Yes, Costa Rica, Japan, Germany.
So Sergey, that's an amazing jump in 1 year in terms of your customer segment. You're in the premium luxury segment of residential, and you've gone from 10 to 15% of foreigners buying to now, as you said, 50%. That's a major shift. What's happened in the last year to cause that? What's going on?
In terms of buyers,
Yes.
it's about 20 to 30%. But in terms of our residents, it's almost 50%.
Ah.
Yeah.
So we're talking about residents also that are renting
Right,
your
yes.
units.
We have a number of units that local people are owners,
Yes.
and they hand over back to us.
Yes.
So that our company provides service for them.
Ah, so
we
your
lease it out.
company is also
we
doing
lease,
property management.
Yeah, we do marketing, we do sales in terms of leasing,
Okay.
and in terms of when it comes to leasing, it's 98% are foreigners.
Really?
Right.
Wow. In terms of foreign investors buying, so give me your opinion. What's happened in the last year that has changed to make Vietnam more attractive or put Vietnam on the radar screen of the foreign investors that may not have even thought about Vietnam in years past?
I wouldn't say it's 100% blue sky, and it's a perfect place for all foreigners. But one thing you cannot argue with is it's definitely it's more favorable environment for investment, and for tourism, for investments, for doing business. I think that there are two reasons for this. The reason one is Vietnamese government is becoming more. Is trying and they do a lot of efforts, to stimulate foreign investments, and in terms of legal frame, now it's also becoming more favorable. As you know, this year the new law was introduced.
Yes, in July.
Which now allows foreigners to own property with having a PIN book, which is new. And we are very happy about the law.
Okay.
And another reason, I think that the FDI is growing very fast. Foreign direct investments, I think this year will be like a record number. And what is good about it, as a developer, we have to say that only 20%, roughly, of FDI goes to property market. So the majority of the money, the majority goes to IT, production, processing, and distribution business. So it's mostly export oriented. Businesses.
I see. And well, the law changed on July 1st. And it's been a few months since then. Is it been what you expected? Has it been more than you expected? Less than you expected for your particular type of product? How's it been in the last 4 or 5 months in terms of foreign investors looking at potentially buying in your project?
Well, it's exactly what we expected.
It's exactly
what we expected. Yes, we expected the number of foreign requests for buying a property in Vietnam to grow up about 50% from the year before.
Wow.
So it's about. It depends on the project.
Yes.
It depends on the company, and even if you take a look at Google Analytics,
yes,
at Google at search engines reports,
yes,
you can see that more foreigners now, with the keywords looking for Vietnamese, checking out.
Where is that coming from? Again, you mentioned a few countries that have bought, but where's the majority of your foreign, quote unquote, foreign interest coming from? Can you identify country or region that's particularly picked up for your segment of the market?
Developers are reacting very fast to these changes, and we can see that this month and last month, some Vietnamese projects, mostly from foreign developers, are now going to do roadshow.
Yes.
Yeah, to their home country, to other and at Kusto, we're also planning to go to explore foreign markets.
So you're going to
promote Diamond abroad.
And this is something.
And this is new.
You haven't done this before.
Yeah, the priority market for us is Singapore.
Singapore.
Yeah. Singapore comes first.
Okay. Yes. What's second?
Second market we are looking into is South Korea.
South Korea.
Yeah, South
Interesting.
Korea.
Is that because a lot of the Korean companies that are here?
Well, Korea is number one in terms of FDI to Vietnam.
Okay.
It was recorded about 20 billion US was invested this year for the first 19 months only.
Mm-hmm.
The Samsung is here.
Yes, big time.
and there's a big great Korean community, and there is a Korean school, and that's why we believe that Singapore and the Korean are priority markets for us
Very good.
to explore.
Well, all of that sounds very good. There's a lot of good indicators, a lot of positives. But let's look on the flip side. I'm a foreign investor.
Okay.
I don't necessarily know anything about Vietnam. I have money to invest. I can put it in many different countries. I don't know necessarily what I'm getting into. What are some of the gotchas? What are some of the challenges of investing in Vietnamese residential property as a foreign investor? What are some things that you do have to bear in mind if you're going to put your money into this market?
Well, it pretty much depends on what is your priority, on what do you really want. Is it to buy to gain or buy to lease?
Okay, so let's take an example. Let's say I'm primarily interested in yield.
Okay.
I want to buy something that's going to give me a pretty decent return on investment in terms of rental yield. So, again, many choices. So what do I have to be a little bit more aware of or concerned about to potentially buy a unit in Vietnam? What's some of the things that, to be honest, some of the risks still of buying in Vietnam versus in other countries?
Well, I guess we shouldn't talk about political or macroeconomic risks because it's something you need to do study on your own, because this information is available. But I think that the biggest concern that you need to take care of is to look very carefully into particular project and developer.
Okay, and what do you need to look at in particular? There's numbers of projects, there's numbers of developers. So I'm a foreign investor, I potentially want to buy something. I'm particularly focused on yield. So what do I need to look at? What do I need to check out and make sure about?
First of all, be careful with the development project. You need to be careful with the quality.
The quality of
yes.
the
Yeah,
bill.
the quality has to be defined very clearly.
Okay.
Yes. Because you know it's all growing, it's all developing very fast, and
Yes.
there are no certain clear requirements. What is luxury? What is high end? What is mid end? It's all very vague. You know, it's
Still a little bit wild.
a
Still
little
messy.
bit wild. Yes, I need to. That's why I need to study more. I would suggest you to, if you are a foreign investor,
Yes.
I would suggest strongly to have your time to come to Vietnam, to go through the projects. And, it's preferably if you can talk to residents, to existing residents that already live in apartments that was built by this developer.
I see.
Yes.
So
What is the experience in terms of service?
okay.
Can they deliver what they promised? Is there any disappointment? Would they advise you to buy there? And I also would really consider. Well, it depends on your
Objectives.
on the objectives. Yeah.
Yes. So let's say now I'm a foreign investor, maybe a Singaporean, and I'm more interested in long-term capital gain.
Okay.
Okay. So I look at a market like Vietnam. Vietnam's gone through a couple of bubbles, has gone through some down times. This seems to be an uptick, but do I need to be concerned about another potential bubble, another potential time of a crash? And also, what should I be looking for, if there's any particular differences, with my focus on a little bit longer term, but selling at some point in the future?
Well, the bubble issue is applicable to any country in any market, because when it comes to property, there's always a bubble, going up, going down. The recession
Yes.
it never ends, and it's normal.
Yes.
It's normal for any market. It's normal for any country.
Yes.
But what is different in Vietnam. I
Okay.
have to say that in our experience, we've been through two bubbles.
Mm.
In particular in Vietnam, it's a short term. It's a short term, like a recession, usually, 1-2 years. So that's why when we decided to come to Vietnam, we established our long-term strategy and our long-term presence, regardless of this up and down.
Well, you said you first came here at the company in '98, and then decided to start your first development project in 2005, so 10 years ago. So you've been
Well,
here
since
a
then,
while.
yes, we opened the cement factory in Quang Binh, and this year we will launch our painting business in Vietnam.
Oh, I see.
Tambor brand will be the first time in Vietnam. So, at Kusto we do long-term
Very good.
business.
Well, as an international property developer, you are very much an international developer. You know, what unique challenges do you face in Vietnam versus other countries? You said you do real estate in other developing countries. What's unique about being in your business in Vietnam?
What are the challenges? What are the specifics?
Yeah.
Yes, I moved from Kazakhstan and also do business in Russia, in Moscow, and it's a completely different experience. I have
How
to say.
so? How so?
Yeah, everything is different here. I wouldn't say that it's more challenging or something very difficult, but it's different. Okay, and